This interview discusses the sensitive topics of alcoholism, sobriety, abuse, loneliness, and suicide.
Hey everybody, it's Adam, live and in person for you. Hey everybody, it's Adam, wonder who he'll interview. Call me Adam.com.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am so excited to be back in the closet where I conduct all of my video and podcast interviews. And today I am getting to interview Barry J., who I first interviewed in 2019. And for those of you who may not know, Barry is the founder of the fitness franchise Barry's Bootcamp, and he is also a filmmaker of horror and thriller movies. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Adam Rothenberg, and for the past 14 years, I have been cooking up the secret sauce to a memorable interview. With over 1,500 interviews under my belt, I have been serving this recipe over and over again. And my mission is to create a platform where you can come together, be entertained, and discover something about yourselves through my interviews with people in and around the entertainment industry. So without further ado, let me welcome Barry J. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Adam. It's so good to see
I'm
you.
so excited to talk about your new movie, The Way Out. Um, it is a very heavy film.
Hmm.
There's a lot of moving parts to it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of topics that are discussed throughout the film. So let's dive right in. I thought we would start off with a few introductory kind of questions, and then we'll get into more of the serious components of
Sure.
the film. But my first question is, you are the writer and director of the film. So what scenes were the easiest for you to write and direct?
Scenes that were easiest were anything with Mike Manning as Shane. All the Shane scenes, especially the Shane and Dale scene. I love Shane's character. He's complex. He's scary. He's hot. He's full of wisdom. He pushes you. I mean, I just had a blast with those scenes. The hardest were Alex.
Mm.
Alex is more from inside of me. Um, so talking about the abuse and the struggle to stay sober and being shut down, no self-esteem, being scared even of the person who becomes your mentor, I mean, you're being kind of led by fear. Is Those were hard, especially as we get into finding out what happened to Alex.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me. So that became, it was surreal to block that scene with the DP,
Mm-hmm.
like matter of factly. And the house that we shot in was a replica of the house I grew up in. The rooms were all in the same place. So I was actually like in my parents' bedroom doing the blocking. I was in my room watching the monitor. It was creepy.
God.
And it shook me up, I think, a little more than I was saying it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great shoot and I loved it and I had a great experience, but it rattled me.
You mentioned some of the challenges in filming, whereas that it was specifically your story. Were there other components that maybe made those scenes more challenging, or just you didn't realize the reaction you would feel from how personal it is?
Well, I used different elements of my life over a span of many years and pushed them all into my age 25.
Hmm.
Start working out at age 25, but I didn't have a sponsor. I have one now, and she is a woman older than me, and so I wanted to keep that dynamic. And but it is also self-will run riot for both of them. That's the problem. I mean, at one point, Veronica says, "You do anything you want to do without thinking about the cost." And it's true. And so it was just hard to see. And by the way, Jonny Beauchamp brought so much dignity and love to this role, and it was so real for me. I grew up in a very small place called Muncie, New York, in Rockland County.
Yes.
I worked in Caldor in Suffern. Johnny grew up in Rockland County in Suffern. And I was like, he was like reading the script going, why Sloatsburg? Why Nyack? Nobody knows these places. He's like, I grew up there. So we had a lot of connection like that made it feel really special. But to be back in the Hudson Valley in a replica home, shooting a lot of my childhood trauma or my later life trauma, because I got sober later in life, not at 25. Well, to be honest, I got sober at 25 for 2 years, and then I got back to it. So yeah, there's definitely things that were hard to relook at. But the reason I did this film, I was able to do this film, I should say, is that I have recovered. You know, I don't think I could have gone even near this material. You know, like I can tell you, like no matter what happened between Alex and his dad, when my dad passed, I love this man with all my heart. I was bawling like a baby, and I would have loved more time. So, you know, things do change, and I think that's the message of this movie: is that with forgiveness, you know, so much is possible. I can't tell everyone to forgive. I cannot. I don't know their story. I don't know what happened to them. I just know that I was able to change for myself. I was able to free myself and drop the rock through that forgiveness. And that forgiveness happened by realizing I didn't do the same things, but I also did horrible things. And if I can forgive ourselves, we forgive each other. How could I forgive myself if I can't forgive him? It didn't feel fair. And now what also helped is in his older age, and mind you, I separated myself from my family for 2 years, not a peep, not a sound, changed my phone number. This was a really strange relationship. When I came back and he got older, it was very, very clear that he wanted to have a friendly, loving relationship. And he seemed like he changed. You know, when you see your father as a grandfather, you're like, where was that? I didn't get that. So because he changed, it made it easier to forgive. And looking back, realizing that, you know, neither one of us are perfect, and anger can lead people to do things they shouldn't do.
Yes.
So that's sort of the message I'm trying to impart.
Yes, that message does come across in the film, and I think you're very lucky that you were able to get that experience where you could have that reconciliation, because I know there are a lot of people who don't get that chance. How involved are you? Because I know, you know, you wrote it, you're directing it, you're producing it. How involved are you in the casting of the film?
Oh, very, very much. I mean, the casting choices were, at the end of the day, they were left to me. And I could not have been more blessed. But I had a great casting director I'll be honest, I didn't know Ashleigh Murray before. And the casting director brought me Ashleigh, and I mean, how could you not be blown away? She was phenomenal. I loved literally everything about her. And one of the producers, Carl, said, you know, for Veronica, I was thinking of a lot of women in the school of Sherri Shepherd, but I had not thought of Sherri Shepherd. And he goes, I gave it to my friend at her agency, at Sherri Shepherd's agency, and she likes it. I said, wait, Sherri Shepherd? And I've said this in other interviews that I loved her in 30 Rock as Angie Jordan. Who didn't? But Precious, it just stayed with me when she played cornrows. It just stayed with me that, wow, she really has a dramatic presence. And all of a sudden I was like, yeah, Sherri Shepherd. Yes.
I mean, she was so good in this film, and I was like blown away by her, because I haven't seen many of her, you know, acting roles. When I think of Sherri Shepherd, I think more of the talk show host.
Sure.
And I was just like blown away the way she was able to, you know, to like present her character's pain while, you know, offering assistance, and just the whole dynamic, and it was just amazing how everything was conveyed, and the way that you wrote the film and sort of have her story develop and open up. It's like I wasn't seeing that beforehand. And then all of a sudden I'm like, as you're unfolding her storyline, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like she's been through so much, just as much trauma in a different way, but still she needs to also find, forgiveness and acceptance and all of these.
Yeah, and forgiveness of herself.
Mhm.
But what I love about Sherri is that my sponsor is an older woman, but she represents, if Alex is one point of the triangle, at the other upper 2 points is Shane, and the other point is Veronica.
Mm.
Which way you go, Veronica is what I wanted her to be, is the example of what life could look like
Mhm.
if you take to forgiveness and letting go and staying sober, and like this is what life could look like, if
Yes.
or that can be what life could look like.
Yes, I definitely agree. And if Alex went more in the way of Shane, which there definitely were moments where he was
Oh yeah,
going down that life,
yeah.
it's scary to me to think what may have happened or what could have happened.
Oh,
And you see part of it you get that glimmer of what could happen to him. But
use has really negative effects.
yeah,
Just aren't guaranteed someone's going to recover.
yeah, it's
And
true.
you also don't know how bad it's going to get, if it's going to shut down their personal life or if they're going to be the next Ted Bundy.
Right.
you know so it's scary because if I do a lot. I've got an upcoming screenplay called Like Father Like Son, which is based on serial killer, and I did so much research, and there is so much neglect and abuse in the pasts of serial killers,
Mm.
and animal cruelty and all this stuff that I was learning about, um that I thought, you know what, this whole thing got started because my therapist, one of many, one said to me when she heard my story, she said, "Wow, it's amazing you turned out to be a nice person. It could have gone really bad."
Mhm.
And I was like, that stayed with me. Like,
Yeah,
so you roll the dice when you abuse somebody.
yeah.
Like, it could have gone either way.
Yes. And actually that's one of my other questions that I had. What was it? What did you learn about yourself from writing this film that perhaps you didn't know going through the abuse and or your recovery?
I think I learned a lot about, I mean, I already know about the importance of staying sober and all that kind of stuff, but that anger that Shane tapped into, that Alex had,
Mhm.
that helped get him to do the things he wanted him to do. Um, I was very, very, very angry for a very long time.
Wow.
Um, and I couldn't even put my finger as to why.
Mm.
And writing the script and seeing it helped me learn a little bit more about where the anger came from
Mm.
and why the anger was so out of hand. And it's sort of like when I look back on my past, like, why didn't I do this? Help me go like, oh, that's probably why that happened. I was
Mm.
too high to create a life, and I was, so
Mhm.
it's just sort of opened my eyes to who I was and why things happened, what motivated me, what drove me.
Mhm. Mhm.
It also, and this is, I don't want to give anything away about Shane, if possible, but it also showed me that I was holding on to some fantasy guy
Mhm.
that existed. And if he did exist, boy, my bullies would be sorry. So I sort of was able to give him life.
Mhm.
That that guy that I always wished would be there to defend me, right or wrong, and
Mm.
just and of course he wasn't, but in this movie he was.
Yeah.
So I had my bodyguard come to life. Yeah. So.
He'll get the dirt and the scoop and the story, for he happens to be in the know. Just ask anybody who's had 'em. Adam lives for the business of show. Call me Adam.com.